Hello everybody, welcome to Soapbox Slam, where I get on my soapbox and talk about the things that I see going on. So today I just wanted to do a brief little post. I just wanted to do a brief little post about microaggression, right? Microaggression is usually something that people suffer from, where one person tends to do subtle things that that would insinuate some sort of thing about one's character, or based on some sort of prejudice or something like that. They're called microaggressions because they're not blatantly blatant aggressions that suggest bigotry, but they're subtle little things that insinuate a sense of bigotry, right? And today I want to get on my soapbox and talk about microaggression. So I was at the pet store getting some stuff for my dogs, and I went to the register. There was a line in front of me. I noticed the two people in front of me paid with cash, and their currency wasn't checked, or their currency wasn't inspected. They paid, she immediately gave them their change back, and on to the next. Well, when I got to the register, the lady, in a very rude and nasty way, was like, I need your phone number. I was like, okay. So I gave her my phone number, whatever. I'm like, this is not the best customer service, but okay, whatever. I give her my phone number. She pulls it up. I wait. I'm looking at the screen. I don't get a total or anything like that. And she's like, are you paying cash or check? I mean, cash or card? I said cash. And so I hand her a $20 bill. She takes my $20 bill, she puts it under a scanner, and then she opens the drawer, takes a marker, and marks the bill. Okay. I'm like, okay, whatever. Whatever. I mean, I get it. People produce or give counterfeit money, and they have to check. That's their policy. If their policy is to check $20 bills, then that's their policy. But nonetheless, she checks it or whatever else. She makes change, and she hands me the change. So I take the change, and I hold the change to the light to make sure it's, legit currency that she's giving back. And she says, why are you doing that? I've never seen anybody check change that people get. Again, very snotty or whatever else. And at that moment, when she responded, I knew at that moment her entire reasoning and reasoning for checking my currency was rooted in something other than company policy. Because I don't understand why she would be so offended by the fact that I'm checking the change that she gave me. You need to check my money, then I need to check the money that you're giving back to me, because clearly your establishment is one that has to deal with people who are counterfeiting money and paying with counterfeiting money. And unless every single bill is inspected when it comes in, how does one receiving change know that they're not going to be riddled with counterfeit money as change? And if your establishment is establishment that is receiving counterfeit money, and then it behooves me to check the money that they're giving back to me, because it could be counterfeit. Look, they're not going to take counterfeit money out of circulation until the end of the night, when they count out their drills and they check all the currency then. So the fact that you're checking my currency means that I should be checking your currency, because your establishment is an establishment that is riddled with counterfeit, with people who are giving counterfeit money. And like I said, you are not going to check every bill. So how do I know you're not giving me change as counterfeit money? And so if that's your policy, then it's my policy to check the currency as well right in front of you, because if I walk away and come back, then it's an issue if it ends up being counterfeit money as change that you've given me. So I check the money right in front of you, the register, or right in front of them, right back. And she's like, why are you checking the change? Well, first of all, why are you offended? If you're offended, then I should be offended, right? I mean, if you're offended that I'm checking the currency you're giving, then equally, shouldn't I be offended that you're checking the currency I'm giving? I mean, it would only make sense if your establishment is an establishment that has a problem with counterfeitism. So nonetheless, I just kind of chuckle it off and walk out of the store like, are you serious? I mean, why are you? Because I never said anything about you checking my bill. I never said anything. You're going to check my bill? Oh, okay. Well, then that means I should check mine. Because that's the precedence. That's what you are, the establishment that is checking. So I need to make sure I check as well, because clearly this is an area of town. This is a place that has issues with a lot of counterfeit currency. But that's not the case. She was offended that I checked the currency as well. Again, microaggression. That is microaggression. It would not have been microaggression if she had not even responded. I would never, there would be no clear sign of the aggression. There would be no clear sign of the issue if she was completely content with the fact that I had to check my currency as well. But she wasn't. And that's a sign of what's in somebody's heart, where they're coming from, the bigotry and hypocrisy within them. And that's a clear sign. So I would encourage anybody out there, if somebody is checking your currency, then you need to check their currency right in front of them. And if they are offended by the fact that you are checking your currency right in front of them, then they have issues within their heart and spirit about who they are. They are the ones who are the bigoted people. They are the ones who initial reasoning behind checking currency was rooted in something other than company policy. That's the sign. So I tell all of you, if somebody is checking your currency, and you're giving, and your currency is legit, and they're checking your currency, the way that you can tell is if they're just following company policy, or if they're doing it rooted in something sinister and nasty. Check your currency back. If they respond and have an attitude about the fact that you checked the currency back, then their actions were rooted in bigotry. Their action was rooted in prejudice. And that's how I know who that person was and how that person behaves. So that is what I'm on my soapbox about. And like I said, I deal with these kind of microaggressions every day. And I have people, even within my own family, and there are tons of people out there who would refuse to acknowledge microaggression as a real thing. And it is a real thing. It's no wonder why people have high blood pressure. It's no wonder why certain groups of the population have high blood pressure, or are antisocial, or are extremely defensive when they go out into the world day in and day out and deal with microaggressions like these. Again, she should never had a problem. If I should not have a problem with her checking my currency, okay, then you should never have a problem with me checking the currency that you give to me. Period. Right? Period. Anybody who's in the black market, anybody who hustles, who deals in the black market, whatever else, they count money right in front of you. There's no indignation about both parties being suspect of the transaction. There's no indignation about both parties being suspect about the transaction. Keep that in mind. And that's what I'm on my soapbox about. Microaggression, little things like that, right? So that lady, nasty person, nasty person, because she was executing company policy in a discriminatory way. And when I pointed that out, I didn't say anything. When I just did the exact same thing that she did, she was highly offended. That makes you want to go, So think about that. And I encourage anybody who suffers from that, count your money in front of them and check it and see how they respond. Anyways, have a wonderful day.